So it made me think of also the Kendall Jenner commercial, the Pepsi commercial, where she appropriates this iconic image from Black Lives Matter and gives a Pepsi to a cop during a protest, and it was just a mess. And thinking how we're in this era of companies, businesses, and whatnot trying to market in an era of appropriation. And so, Lynn, we all just rewatched the Shea Moisture commercial in the back. You had some interesting points to say about that in terms of not marketing to opposition, but go on and say some of your thoughts about that.
Sure. I guess to begin with, I wonder when I'm watching these commercials, who's shaping the message? You know, who is crafting that text? Are there women of color who are behind those words? And my guess is probably not.
So of course, because the internet goes to work fast.
That's the first problem. And number two, it's working on the assumption that we hate our hair. I don't hate my hair, and most of the African American women I know do not hate their hair. And I think that, yes. And so that commercial is problematic from that point of view. And then I think that the third thing that's problematic, at least I'm talking just primarily about the shea butter commercial, is the assumption that we have to join white women in order to feel good about the product, and that we have to have something in opposition in order to understand who we are.
That is really so true. But I mean, and it all sort of comes to this place of, like gentrification, like is only valuable if white people are part of it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at a dinner party maybe a week and a half ago, and someone was sitting at the table with me, and I've lived in the same neighborhood for 20 years, but I grew up in that neighborhood. So I could say probably technically I've lived in that neighborhood for some half a century. And this woman said to one of the white folks who was sitting at the table, it's so great that you've pioneered this community. And I was like, wow, you've pioneered this community. I've been here all of my life. This was a wonderful neighborhood before my dinner guests had come.
But I'm curious.
And so it's sort of interesting. You talk about appropriation and occupying spaces.
Yeah, but do you say that?
In that moment, I decided I'm just going to move away.
Right. It's always tricky to
move
know
away.
when to
And because I asked and I realized that this is someone who is not necessarily either prepared to have that conversation, and even if we had that conversation, I don't think that she could totally receive it.
Right, and then that's always going on in our heads, right? Yes. Is this person prepared to have this conversation? Can they receive it? Do I want to do it?
Yeah, or do I want to expend the energy? Yeah. It's like I don't want to be burdened with educating you constantly.